Hi folks, I've entitled this Monday Miscellany because it's got various things in it, updates and that kind of thing. First of all, Mick is beginning to recover from his fall, although he's terribly bruised and still in a lot of pain, which is understandable, and still suffering from the concussion, although I hope that's beginning to improve. The nice thing was that he was wanting to attend his children's wedding, and that was on Saturday, and he managed to do that. He had a rest sort of after the wedding and then joined them later on at the reception when he'd had time to recover from the wedding. And I'm really pleased that he managed to attend that wedding, because I know how important it was to him in view of his illness. I'm still losing weight. The last time I got weighed I was down to 18 stone 9, which is over a 2 stone loss. This week I only lost a pound, but I'm getting weighed tomorrow, and I hope I've lost at least a couple of pounds. But even at a pound a week, it's still better than I've ever done before. I'm enjoying the food, although I need to get a bit better at producing dishes for Carolyn as well as me, so that she can enjoy them and isn't taking it as seriously as me. And I intend to do that sort of quite soon. Carolyn varies in health. Some days are good days, some days are bad days, and some days are very painful days. It's painful for me to see her sort of when she gets up from sitting down, or when she gets up in the morning especially, and has to get going. So God knows what it's like for her. There's a lot recently about anti-social media on YTPC. I'm keeping on Facebook because there are groups that I can't keep in touch with any other way. I would prefer not to be on Facebook at all. And I've reduced my friends list very considerably. And it might be that some of you are on that list who are no longer on it. It's not a reflection of you. It's more a reflection of my enthusiasm at deleting names. If you feel very strongly that you want to still be in touch with me on Facebook, then please drop me an email. The email address is in my information on YouTube, but I want to concentrate on YouTube. It's the kind of community that deserves the best, because you're the best. There are not many times that things are said or done that upset people, although it happens. I mean, that's natural, but I don't think much of it is what I call a nastiness. Sometimes it's just the way it is. I'm really enjoying your videos. I might not always be able to respond to those that I watch, but I keep trying. But life comes into it as well, life outside the YouTube. And I'm aware that there are things that I have to do and have to keep up with and want to keep up with. I want to get back into doing some writing, and I also want to do some pipe restoration. I've just got a a buffer to use. I haven't used it yet. It will take me a while to pluck up courage, but that will help very much, I think, with the stems and with the polishing of the wood. And hopefully, if I do much restoration, I'll get used to re-dyeing and that kind of thing. Life continues to be good. I know there are bad times, and there are bad times for all of us. But at the moment, I seem to be able to cope with that. I'm hoping that I'll be able to start stopping some of my tablets soon. My diabetes is well down and under control, and as I'm losing weight, it's almost non-existent. I'm told one of the advantages or disadvantages of losing weight, it depends how you look at it, is that you can't tolerate alcohol in a way that you did. But as I very rarely drink these days, except when I'm out with friends or when I just fancy one, occasionally on a night, I don't think that's going to affect me. Whether it affects me with the nicotine and the pipes, I don't know. I really love the Vaughan Shire pipes. They're brilliant smokers, and since somebody pointed out to me that they do come apart for cleaning, and I found that there was a filter in it that I'd been over smoking it, that the filter needed changing very much. That I intend to get some more of those, because I do like a long pipe when I'm smoking, especially when I'm thinking. And recently I've been thinking a lot about the universe, about the world, about social things as well. It seems to me that both in America and over here, we've forgotten a lot of things about democracy and about our various forms of government. And people seem to be allowing things just because it doesn't affect them financially. Although I think that's going to be a shock for people in this country soon, when we do get out of the common market. I wish that we could stay in it, but we have to face that. But I think that the markets and that kind of thing are going to react quite badly, and I think until things settle down in a few years' time, we're just going to have to live with it. Sorry about that. I nearly inhaled. The writing group's going well. I think this tobacco affects Carolyn. She's just waving a thing.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
No, I've just got a hot flush.
Oh, sorry. It's not the smoke, it's a hot flush. It's very rare since they had those a lot. I'm really pleased that Rebecca Stuff and Tim live away, because having two women in the house, just has some of those women's problems, and it's dangerous enough at the moment to answer when you're not being talked to, or not answer when you are being talked to. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I keep relighting this because I'm getting towards the bottom of the bowl, and being a tight-fisted Yorkshireman by adoption, I don't like to waste tobacco. There's a Yorkshire saying, which has gone totally out of my head, about doing, if you do out for nout, no, never do out for nout. What is it, Carolyn? And if there does...
Eat all, sup all and pay now.
Yeah.
Oh God, you've got me now. Hear all, see all and say nout. Eat all, sup all and pay nout. And if ever that does out for nout, do it for this end.
Did you get that? Say it again, love, loud.
Hear all, see all and say now. Eat all, sup all and pay now. And if ever that does out for now, that does it for this end.
Lovely accent. And well spoken. Yes, you know, if you ever does out for nout, do it for this end. Except when you're doing it for other people, of course. But that gives you an idea of Yorkshireman. You know, you can tell a Yorkshireman straight away.
But you can't tell him much.
But you can't tell him much, no, as Carolyn says. And that linked to my Norfolk childhood and background. It's an interesting mix because Norfolk people take ages to make friends. It's partly, in my case, due to shyness. But if you move to Norfolk, they will be friendly. They'll be very friendly and they'll look after you. But they don't say a lot. Or at least they didn't used to. If ever you come over to England, do visit Norfolk and Yorkshire. They're both worth a visit. Yorkshire's got the dales and the beauty of Yorkshire and the friendliness of the people. And Norfolk's got the Broads, and it's really a country county, a farming county, a county where the people were born tough, as in Yorkshire. A friend of ours, an old man, he's probably gone now, but when we were in Norfolk, was seen cycling down the road on his old bicycle. And Dad noticed that there was blood coming out of the top of his boot. So he called him and sort of said, "What's the matter, Frank?" And he said, "Oh, I've just cut my toe off with my lawnmower. I'm going to the doctor's to have it wrapped up." And one of my relatives, Ma Barrett, had to go in for a cancer operation where she had a breast removed. And 2 hours after the operation, she was on her hands and knees cleaning the cupboard out by the side of her bed. And she never asked for any painkillers. And when she was leaving hospital, the doctor said, "You know, Mrs. Barrett, I want to ask you a question. You never asked for any painkillers. Is that because you didn't feel any pain?" And she, "Young man, that's for me to know and you to find out. Thank you very much." So that put him in his place. And Yorkshire people are just the same. We had Ma Peel, who was well known at the doctor's for speaking her mind. In fact, the doctor, I think, used to dread her coming in. And one time, the doctor was called out on an emergency and the people were sat in the waiting room. And she was next in and she went in and he said, "What can I do for you?" And she, "The same as you can do for all the other ones out there. We need some pile ointment. We've been sat so long." Anyway, I suppose I should be giving up now. But I do want to say, I hope you have a great day. I hope each and every day is special to you. And if there are things that are getting you down and really getting on top of you, then find somebody to talk to, especially if you're a bloke. Men are very, very bad at talking about the things that are important. And they're also bad at being able to cry a lot. But, you know, we're human beings, and sometimes we need support. Sometimes we need to express emotion. It was taught to me when I worked in mill, and the men there sort of didn't really show any affection or emotion until somebody had an accident, and then they were there, and they'd hold the person if it was a very bad accident. They'd be comfortable with the person crying or being in pain, and they would give him as much strength and support as they could. And then when it was all over and he'd gone to hospital, the barriers came up again, and you'd think that they never showed any affection to anybody. I often wonder how their wives got on at home, but that's another story. May you be richly blessed by the world and by life around you. It's sometimes good just to go out and listen to the birds, to see the plants and to see nature, and just realise how small we are in the world and in the universe, and how unimportant in reality are the bad things that affect us. At the time they're devastating, but later they're forgotten or they fade into memory. So, good day, God bless, and the main thing about life is have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, so that leaves the field open to you. My attitude is try it once to see whether you like it, and if you don't, well, it was an experience.